Hi, everybody. Welcome to Sunday Funday with Paul and Judy. I know when we see that countdown come on, it's like, it's working.
It's on. As always, let us know where you are watching from.
Yes, for sure. Last week, we had somebody from Pakistan and somebody from Nigeria come through watching. So it's very, very cool to see your names and see your cities and states.
We're huge in those countries.
We can call ourselves international now.
Right.
Around the world. Shall we start with a toast?
Let's start with a toast.
Okay.
Traditions being what they are.
Yes. Cheers.
And we are very excited about our guest today.
Today's show is going to be so much fun. Just from the responses that we got yesterday from our little promotion on Facebook, we could tell that you're as excited as we are.
Yeah. You know, truthfully, I wish I was as good at anything as he is in the top of his game.
Absolutely.
So that's going to be very exciting. So what else is news?
Well, as you guys know, we love to wait to see your first name pop up so that we know that the broadcast is coming to you somewhere. And that you're hearing us and seeing us fine. So we thought that we would do our little traditional, well, we used to call it bumper stickers and bar signs. Here's our first one from Fredericksburg, Virginia. Hi, Chris.
Hi, Chris.
Thanks for writing in. So then we got so many signs that had nothing to do with bumper stickers or signs that were photographed in a bar that we started to open it up to other things.
Would you call it signs of all kinds?
I call it now signs of all kinds. Okay. So, and actually, I think you can see Nick on the screen right now because I forgot to put his picture down.
Well, there goes the surprise.
There goes the surprise. Wait, okay, Nick, pretend you're surprised. I'm going to take your video down. We're going to show our little signs, and then I have a great little intro for you, okay?
Okay, perfect.
Then we'll let you speak. That's so funny. I do that all the time. I've got so many things swimming around in my head that I'm supposed to do. All right, bye, Nick. See you in a minute.
That's my girl.
Well, we'll let more of you in on the show.
Is it when you looked up, when you looked at that he was where this bar sign was supposed to be?
Yes, that's exactly what happened. Like, he's not a sign of all kinds. Well, he is. He's a good sign. That's so funny. You'll be able to say hi to him in just a second.
People already say hi to Nick.
Yes, keep those thoughts coming through. But in the meantime, I'm going to take our video down as well, and let's do our signs of all kinds because they're good ones this week. So this one is a credit to Connie.
I do like this one.
Yes. So burglars, please carry IDs so we can notify next of kin. Mm-hmm. Here's another fun one. How many times do you feel like there are too many chiefs and not enough Indians, or too many chefs and not enough cooks, or whatever the saying is?
Obviously, because it's on a road.
Yeah, it's just very, somebody had a good sense of humor. Okay, here's a good one too from my Uncle Dave. Too fun. And he, we always tell you about him. He's always sending jokes back and forth and political funny things back and forth. So he sent that. And Paul said, I think we can actually show our audience that.
Some of the things he does are off color. In fact, he won't even send them to Judy. They only come to me.
Yes, exactly. Oh, that's so fun. Hi, Asta. Hi, Glenna. Hi, Mar. Hi, Vianne.
Somebody already saw the surprise.
Yes, they did. Okay, yeah, they've definitely seen that. And then there's one more that also we thought was kind of funny.
Forecast for tonight: alcohol, low standards, and poor decisions.
Thank you, Glenna. So that was perfect as well. Just very, very fun. So keep those signs of all kinds.
I didn't notice. Was it poor, P-O-O-R, or P-O-U-R?
Oh, I don't know. I have to bring it back up again just to see.
That would have been funny too.
Let's see. No, poor. Yeah, poor decisions would have been very clever. Maybe you'll be able to find that another time.
Now. Poor decisions.
Okay, so without further ado, let me just show this.
Let's reintroduce.
Yes, since he's there and he's watching and he's as excited as we are. We did a lot of practice sessions to make sure this would go well. So we hope that you enjoy the show. But Nick, I'm going to give you a little step back in time. It's not really very long.
As you can tell, I have been nicked with my new blonde highlights. And who did it? Nick Chavez. Come on down.
Hey, how are you? Hi, everybody.
One of the most
Neither of you have changed. Honestly.
Well, he is in the house. Nick, was that a walk down memory lane?
Oh my goodness, that really was. Hi, everybody. I'm so excited to be a part of this platform that you're doing, Judy and Paul. It's very, very exciting.
Great to have you.
We're
Much and all the wonderful customers and friends and fans of yours out there. And thank you all for your kind words. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. I have to tell everyone how this even came to be, because I think that it was perhaps 2 Sundays ago. And we were talking about, when it was?
It's Easter?
We had Connie Craig Carroll on our show, and she's a former host, Nick, on HSN. And now she has her own jewelry line on HSN. So we had her as a guest on the show, and she was talking about it. And she had some pictures, just like we're going to take you down some more memory lane here today. But she had some pictures of some great people that she loved to work with when she was a host. And one of them was a hairdresser. Jose, I think his name was, right?
Yeah, that's right.
So we also said, oh my gosh, hairdressers that we know and love, like Nick Chavez. And a woman wrote in and said, I don't know if you know, but Nick had cancer, lost all his hair. He's coming back to QVC. He's got some of his hair back, and he's been talking about, and relating to other people who've gone through the same thing he did. And that night, Nick, is when I reached out to you to try to connect. You picked up the phone and called me because I had included my phone number. So we started talking about doing this show. And 2 weeks later, we made it happen.
So appreciative. Really, truly appreciation.
Yeah.
Grateful, gratitude, and all the Lord's blessing.
Yep. Got that right. And things happen in mysterious ways. And I think that as we were learning more about your story, it's amazing, 2 survivors here, you and Nick.
Yes.
And
neither of us knew that about each other either until we had the conversation.
Yeah. And what good you bring to other people by giving the message.
Yes, for sure. Well, something that, and I definitely want to talk further about that, but something that people don't necessarily know about you, Nick, is a little bit of your background. And so I would love to show some things that you can talk about with some of the pictures that I have on the screen right now. Tell me about this, because I have a couple of them, and this is what probably people don't know about Nick Chavez.
Well, back in the day, that is the worldwide campaign for Audemars Piguet, the watch company.
Wow.
And that was like, I used to model. I lived in Europe. It was really amazing time for me. I remember I was actually working when I was like 28 years old, and they all thought I was like 18, 19. So I was like, oh, that's good for me. So that was that. And then the world campaign for Swatch Watch. You remember the old Swatch Watch?
Oh, totally. I have.
Yeah.
Yes. That's a great shot. That photographer was really good in capturing that moment for you.
Right?
Yes. Oh my gosh.
Unbelievable time living in, I shot that in Paris. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
That's really neat.
I was in Italy and Germany.
Here you are on a billboard. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is
That was on 42nd Street. That is for Jeff Hamilton.
Wow.
He's a designer, and they kept that up there for like, I think over a year.
Wow.
In the air. It was really like crazy beautiful. I was like blown away.
It is just so cool. Hi, Sean. He thinks that introduction was 2004.
Wow.
He has been with us for a really, really long time. Sean has, as a follower. So I'm sure those dates are right. He never misses a date.
And, I did some modeling, but now I'm more of a before model.
That's fun. Well, I think that's sort of fun to be able to talk about, and those days, probably when you look back, you think, gosh, time flies. Was it really that long ago when you look back? It feels
like that. It really does. Like sometimes I'll look at those photos and I'll just be like, wow, I had like 9 portfolios stacked full with all the editorials I had done, world campaigns, and, modeling on runway. I did a lot for Dior, for Terry Mugler, for Kanza Yamamoto, Valentino. Giorgio Armani, all of them. I was on the runway. And usually back in the day, if you were a runway model, you weren't a print model. But
yeah.
some of the photographers were like, "No, he's a print model. We
He
got
can do whatever he wants.
Yeah, so I was like, "Yeah, that's good. I like that."
That's funny. Well, and nowadays, of course, everyone knows you for what you
QVC.
do. Yeah. Well, QVC, yes, for sure. But also this, Nick, out in Beverly Hills, California, doing
Yes.
what you do so well.
Yeah.
You know, one of the guys who wrote in and said, "Hey, Nick is a super duper hairstylist."
Oh, that is so great.
And
So
here
great.
you are doing your thing out in your salon in Beverly Hills. So
Right.
much fun to see.
Well, I'm gonna pay the highest compliment that I can possibly pay,
Okay.
and this has to do with Nick Chavez and Judy Kroll.
Okay.
Nick, you may not know this, but Judy's been to many hairstylists and get cuts and styles, and then the next day I see all this hair in her sink because she's cutting, fixing what she never did that when you did her hair.
No.
And that's a true story. That is the
Actually, I remember when one day I just actually said, "I'm going to do your hair," or I don't know what the whole story was, but I cut it, and we gave you that longer bang in the front and put highlights in it. And I think you were one of the first ever to have this hairstyle. The longer top and then the back a little bit messy like that, and like kind of like the stripy effect, but it really looks so cool on you. And with that
I need another
smile
trip to Beverly Hills.
I think.
Yeah,
I
and we
think
did it really quick. Remember, I think when you had a show or something to do it, I was in the room there, the green room or somewhere where we just put it all together and made it happen.
Green room or in the makeup lounge where
You're right.
They you float all your models through there, and then the host would sit in the chairs and go almost from that room right out to the set.
I think, no, I may be wrong, but the story I heard through the grapevine was that, I don't know if this is before you got married or where you're going for the Cure by the Shore, but you asked Nick if he would, do something with your hair, and he's like, "I've been waiting for this chance."
I was like, "I know my little one here. I could do that hair up and just bring it up one notch." And the other great thing was, do you remember when you were you went on Jay Leno, and you had that beautiful navy blue tight dress, and your body and your arms looked amazing? I was like, everybody back at the QVC were just like, "How'd she get that? How come she gets to do that?" Well, because Judy's Judy.
It is still called Judy Kroll arms.
Yeah.
Yes. It was great.
Speaking of celebrities like the Jay Lenos, I wanted to show this one too, Nick. There must be some really cool stories behind this.
Well, there is Joan Collins, and then on top is Macy Gray.
Oh, yeah.
And the great thing about it was they came in on the same day. So my clients that I do top celebrities, and I just do everyday people. And it's like such a blessing to me because I really have found myself through my clients, their stories and speaking on love and peace and just loving each other. And we get down to the nitty gritty and all the dirt also. But you know what? Those girls are great. I've done Bella Hadid, and Gigi Hadid and their mom, Yolanda. I've done all their hair. I've done Sharon Stone. I mean, it goes on and on and on of all the celebrities. But one of the greatest things is just everyday people that come to me who I absolutely love and care. And, my hair care brand is all a bit about putting the care back in hair care and ancient tradition with modern technology.
Well, yeah.
Well, that's a big deal for a couple of reasons. Number one, a lot of products can actually be damaging to your hair. So putting the hair back into hair care is brilliant. But also with all the challenges that we've had lately with getting, as soon as COVID started, where was the toilet paper? And now when they have to have everybody sanitizing, where's the pumps for the spray bottles for your hair?
Exactly.
With those challenges, you got to get Nick's products when they're available.
Right, because we actually sold out of a lot of stuff, and a lot of our componentry is made overseas. So, with the COVID and everything that happened, that was crazy, along with having my cancer. And if there was ever, God ever put me in the best time ever, there really never is a good time when you're going through something like this because it's so trying. But it was through COVID. So I was locked in my house for about a year. It's only been in the last 3 weeks that I've been on QVC and TVSN and doing this wonderful viewing with you all. And it was a tough one. And this is all that's like, everybody goes, I love your haircut. And I go, this is called chemo cut. This is what's left. I haven't cut my hair. This is what's left from the chemo. So I am grateful for my little chicken feathers that I have here. I call it bunny fur. But anyway, you know, I'm using my products and they actually work. You know, I do understand now when women call or they're talking about that they've had cancer, it is a tough one. And I really feel for you all from the bottom of my heart. I've read so many of your comments and I just blessings, just complete gratitude and blessings to everybody who's ever gone through cancer, because this is a tough, for real thing. Really, really tough.
Yeah, and one of the followers wanted to know what type of cancer you had.
Yeah, I had pancreatic cancer, stage 2. So
Wow.
I had to have the chemo, and then I was able to do an immune therapy so that it would not be so hard, the chemo on my liver and on my kidneys. And then I had the Whipple surgery, which is like one of the most dramatic surgeries ever. I'm cut from here all the way up, and I had a feeding tube in me, and it was really, really tough. So pancreatic cancer, all I have to say for any of you out there, if your body is talking to you, go and get it checked. Do not wait. Do not have fear with this. Reason I'm here today is God's glory, but we caught it at stage 2. And a friend of mine from Arizona had stage 2 pancreatic cancer, and him and his wife, we would call like once a week. He passed on. So, you know, the earlier you get it, the better it is. And for any of you ladies or gentlemen out there, God, wrap your healing arms around anybody right now who is going through what Judy and I have gone through, because it is a tough one. Very, very tough. But, you know, coming out on the other end, I have so much gratitude and I'm so grateful.
Absolutely.
He said something when we were just talking before about living your life, living every
your life.
And we should all get that message, whether we've had to battle the cancer or not. I mean, you never know what's around the corner.
Right. You know, don't take anything for granted. One thing for sure is when you are going through something like this and you come out on the other end, we have to serve. We have to put the word out there, get the word out there, empathize with people, and really like find that true understanding of love and peace in your heart, you know, and during all of this, like my mother had just passed 3 months prior to when I got diagnosed with the cancer. So I was really going through it. But anyway, because that's my mommy, who I love dearly. She's in heaven, and everybody knows I always like, that girl is unbelievable, my mom. And my dad's up there in heaven also. So, you know, we just say glory to God, and to everybody out there, your mom and dad are watching. And we're always going to be their little boy, or for some of you, their little girls. So just know that mom and dads love you.
Yeah, that's right. I had that picture and I wanted to talk about that as being just yet one more thing that you had to endure through all of this time. And she passed away in December, right? Right before you were diagnosed, right before COVID hit. And you must have thought, oh my gosh, the sky is falling.
Well, you know, I think it's just like what Paul said. I just love, you know, that you brought back up that we have to live again. And even though I was going through what I was going through, in back of my mind in prayer, I was constantly saying, I can't wait to live again. And, you know, it was all the love from my family. My family were like amazing. One of my sisters lived with me for a year to take care of me. She left her family and her job. And she just said, I'm taking care of you, Nick. And I am so grateful for that. And not only that, all the prayers from churches, sermons that were done for me. And I was just like blown away. So, you know, the thing is, there's a lot of people out there, the doctors, I had the best surgeons in the world, you know, the best oncologists, and everybody that knew about it, because I'm a pretty private person, were really there to serve and help me. And that was really hard because I'm the one who loves to help everybody.
Yeah.
And you know what, I had to sit back and go, oh, like my sister would say, would you like something to drink, some water or anything? And I go, oh, no, I can get it. And then I realized I couldn't even get up.
Yeah.
You know, so it was all good. But you know what? Now I'm in a very good place, and I'm so excited to be back on TV again, and also to do this. I keep wanting to call it a podcast. It's not a podcast, but Paul and Judy, you need to be doing a podcast. Great.
That's what your cousin said. But speaking of being back, I found this on your Facebook page, and I thought this is a great thing. You know, Nick is back in so many ways, just so positive. And when are your next shows on the queue?
I just got off of 2 days ago, I had 3 shows. I had one in the morning, one in the evening, and then I did TVSN, which is Australia. And then a week prior to that, I had done a show, sold out everything, my plumper and thicker cream. And you know, my hair was so fine. I use that. I have a new shampoo that's out called Ultra Plumper and Thicker. And I use the styling cream, and it really has helped me. And you know, the thing is, when I tell you about this, it's my personal experience. It has helped my hair look thicker than it is. I have the feeling of that thicker hair.
Yeah.
Well, I was joking yesterday that I didn't have to get cancer to lose my hair. It's receding. So does your products help somebody like me?
Well, you know what it does? It actually just gives a feeling of like when I do my hair, first of all, when I wash it and get out of it, you know, and start blow drying it, it gets so big. I now know what it's like to have a bouffant cat on your head. Okay, my hair was like standing out like this, and I was like, oh no! And I got that cream and put it in there and started bringing it down. And I was like, because I always tell my clients, get your hair as big as you can the first day, and then the second and third and fourth day it will be normal. Because if you flatten it down in the beginning, it's going to be flattened down even more by the second, third day. So that's one thing I always say. Big hair.
Yeah.
You're right. You can always flatten it down.
Massage that scalp. That's all you have to do, Paul. Massage that scalp.
Okay, I'll do it.
You told me massage that scalp with your products, and I keep trying to remind him to put lotion on his face because that's another thing. It's like moisturize everywhere.
Yeah, I got this Irish skin. Fluorescent lights, I get a sunburn.
I'll tell you something. You know, the other thing is with chemo, your body becomes like a lizard. So I used to look at myself, go, here, lizard. You know? And I had crepey all over me, but thank God I have my Nick Chavez Velvet Mesquite butter.
Body balm.
What is it? Body
balm.
Velvet Mesquite, which is great, actually. And then the spray-on product right here that's a spray-on that actually kept my skin nice. Because I'll tell you something, there was one time I was just sitting watching TV and I had a blanket wrapped around me, and then I saw all these flakes. I go, do I have dandruff? And then I looked at my arm and I go, no, it's your peeling, you know? So here's the great thing is, like, if you any of you who don't know me, just go check out QVC and you can see the products that I have there, or go to my website, Nick Chavez Beverly Hills. We have great deals and everything, and I absolutely love doing hair, and I just love serving all the beautiful women out there and all the guys out there that you want to look cool, you want to look good.
That's right.
Well, don't forget, I mean, bartenders may be psychiatrists, but it's the hairstylists that get the dirt.
Yes. And everybody goes, why don't you write a book? I go, you're going to have to like kill me after they're going to come after me.
That's right.
I know, well, you know, they always say that old tale, you know where all the bodies are buried?
Yeah.
But you know what? My clients are all great. It's all been a blessing. So I'm good.
Yeah, it's all good, you know, but since we're reminiscing a little bit and you were talking about being back on QVC, I'm going to put up a really fun video, and there's no audio on it. So I just think that you should describe here, and you were talking about big hair, what was going on and how in the world you felt after this was all over. All right, you ready? Here it goes. So you're obviously doing the big hair and showing what's going on.
She's closer to God, or she can sing that song, Stand By Your Man.
Yes, she can. I remember Maria. I worked with her all the time. But then you got a call and down you went.
Down I went, and it is so funny. Can I tell you that this has one of the largest, it's on YouTube, but it used to be, I think was on Vimeo or one of these things. I was getting I had millions of hits on that. And also Ella DeGenerate put it on her show. And also, what's Jada Pinkett's husband's name?
Will Smith.
Will Smith. I'm in his video, falling down on my butt. And let me tell you something, it hurt.
Oh, I was going to say, you came up like a champ. And
I know.
But that's...
Well, you know what they say, the show's got to go on.
Yeah. But look, if you got to fall to get 5 million hits, why not?
You know,
yeah, right?
I mean, it was just so good. I think we should watch it again.
I tell you, all my nephews, they were going to SMU, 2 of my nephews, and all their friends pull it up. my other little nephew, Lolo, he's so great because he at school, he's like in the 10th or 11th, 10th grade or 8th grade or something like that. All of his friends show that video to him and to every one of their friends also. So
he pops right up off the floor and he goes right back to spraying Maria's hair, like right back in the groove.
But not just that. He did the play-by-play.
Yeah.
He said, I fell on my booty.
Yeah. You did. And when we found it, it took me about a half an hour to try to extract it because I couldn't figure out, even though your cousin Julie had said to me, no, you can do QuickTime Player and you can get a copy of it. There's no audio on it, but everybody will recognize this. And those are the bloopers that people really do talk about, that they remember.
They do.
You know, whether
absolutely do.
Dolls.
And actually, I think it was on a blooper reel on QVC.
Yeah, wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, they put it there. They put like a banana peel first to show like they thought I stepped on a banana and flipped over.
Well, when I watched the video, there is sound on it. And you had been taking a phone call and she was talking about the product you were using on Maria's hair and how she had 8 cans of it. And you said, oh my gosh, you deserve a kiss. And you walked down the stairs and you went, and that's what you were doing when you went down off the stairs and then you went back up, and you must have had really slick soles on the bottom of your black shoes and just
cowboy boots.
Cowboy boots. I was just going to say
my cowboy boots. You know, I come from Arizona and I'm Native American and Latino, so I've just like lived in cowboy boots. And even when I go out to black tie affairs, I have my patent leather cowboy boots on and my cowboy belt buckle, the championships, because I'm a championship rider also in the reining, the NRHA. So I love that.
Well, this
Very
is
cool.
I did not know this about him until you were practicing with him yesterday, and I mean, to be as good at what you are doing here, and you say you have 10 championships.
Oh, one day I hadn't been on a horse in probably about 7 years, and this girl was training my horse here, Erica, and what had happened was I called her up and I put my horse in training with her. And I said, listen, I want to show at the Hollywood Charity Show. And she said, well, I haven't even met you. So I just said, it's okay. Bring the horse down to the equestrian center. So she brought it down. I rode for about 10 or 15 minutes. And she goes, you can ride. I said, oh, I can ride a little bit, but I'll ride different when I show. And there was 59 people in the class. I won like 7 championships that day. And everybody was coming off the rails to come and see me ride because they go, Nick is riding? He hasn't ridden in like 10 years. So, I mean, talk about riding a bike and be able to get back on it. You never lose it. With the horses, it was the same thing. I just prayed a lot, got out there, and I had a scorching go. I won a saddle. I won thousands of dollars, and I won beautiful bronze trophies, Morrison bronze. I mean, it was great. And then 3 months later, I went back and won a bunch again. So it was great. I love my little horses.
I mean, it's amazing. To what you've accomplished, not just in your career, but in that. And I'm like thinking, if I answer 3 emails and pick up my dry cleaning, I'm exhausted.
Well, also, I don't know if anybody knows this, but I'm also a lyricist.
Oh, that's right.
Songs that I've written. I've got about 45 or 50 songs in the computer that I've produced with a bunch of artists. So, you know, I always believe, and it's, you know, exactly what you and Paul do, Judy, is that you're always inspiring people. And I think that is one of the most beautiful things, is to inspire. And also to let everyone know you can do whatever you want to do. Just do it like Nike says. I mean, that's really what it's all about. And we have to live our dream and feel good about what we're doing and understanding that we are all enough. That's one of the most important things. And if you can do that, you're going to get to a good place and you love and approve of yourself. It's very, very important that you understand that, because a lot of us go through life, you know, thinking we're not enough. We are enough.
That's so true.
That's so true. And on that note, I want to show one of the things that you said was one of your first loves. All right. So watch this real quick, Nick.
Hello, gorgeous. I'm inspired because I'm in one of those beautiful moments. Beautiful moments is beautiful you. I am so happy that you're here on my ranch. This is where it was all inspired. But what I love most is when I'm riding my horse. I feel like that horse. When you got your feet planted on the ground, this is when you're inspired. And one thing my mother always said, tell the truth and make sure women can afford it. So that's why I've created this velvet mesquite line. This velvet mesquite line is indigenous of the Southwest. So ladies, it's all about being glamorous. It's all about being gorgeous. It's all about being beautiful you.
I love that, Nick. I love that.
Thanks. That's my championship horse. He's like a diamond. I call him Patches. He's my little Patches. He's a stallion, and he's just amazing, amazing, amazing horse.
Wow. I just want you to know I wore my fringe in honor of you.
I saw that. I go, look at you, got your little Indian fringe on, and when I saw you put that on, I went and put my jacket on.
I changed his jacket.
I just said, okay, we're gonna have a little powwow here.
Went up, yeah.
I thought that was so funny.
Paul, what do you have on Indian? Do you have a turquoise ring on or something?
Maybe this one will fit him. It's kind of a unisex ring.
You know what? We have a lot of cowboy hats.
That's right, you do.
Yeah.
Now he's got some turquoise on,
go.
Nick.
There you go.
And
I all part of the tribe.
I've probably sold more American turquoise in the last 10 years than probably anybody.
Yeah.
Right. I remember you selling that on the TV show.
It's hands down, it's one of my favorite gemstones. And the stories and the people, you talk about traveling and doing things and seeing what the miners have to go through. People have no idea how difficult it is to be in that business and to find even one vein of turquoise.
Right.
Yeah.
I collect it. I have a lot of beautiful belts and squash blossoms and just big chunky bracelets. And I mean, I really love turquoise. Well, it's also I'm a Sagittarian, so that's my birthstone, turquoise.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. One of many. You get a choice of
4.
like 4 in the month that you were born. So that's pretty cool. And it's also funny because we just found we're trying to do that clear out process, sort of that spring cleaning time.
Right.
So Paul was going through his closet and finding belts.
A huge belt buckle.
He found
a Nick
belt buckle side. It's so cool. I don't remember where we got it, but I said, after this show, you're going to want to get that out, wear it again. You watch.
I tell you, I live in mine. Like everybody goes, like, where's your buckle? Even like the other couple of years ago, I went to the Oscar party for Mercedes-Benz, and I had my belt buckle on with my Tom Ford jacket. So it's like one of those things. Those are my roots. So that's where I come from. Cowboys. We raise wheat, barley, and alfalfa on a ranch in Arizona. So it's been, that's what keeps me grounded, going back there, so that I really realize the connection with Mother Earth.
Oh, yeah.
Well, we have a collection of our cowboy hats when we travel and fedoras. But it's so funny, the perception. Like if we go to Caribbean countries or somewhere, everyone says, "Oh, you're from Texas," just because you have a cowboy hat.
You're wearing a cowboy hat.
You're from Texas.
Well, my dad always wore a cowboy hat. I mean, it was like 24/7. He always had his cowboy hat on.
Who was this you said? I missed
My
it.
father.
Oh, your dad.
Yeah.
Sure.
It's old school.
It becomes a signature.
Yeah,
when you do things like that, and so many times we're outside and now we're much more conscious
of the sun,
being or not being in the sun and kind of seeking out the shade. So we're always in hats, and sometimes we'll do shows outside. So a week after week after week, and we'll wear a different hat, or it's a theme like St. Patrick's Day. We both have our hats on. So it got to a point where the followers would say, "Where's your hat? Where are your hats?"
Yahoo!
Such a signature. Hey, speaking of nature, I wanted to let you know that we were talking about, Paul played basketball this morning, and I went to my exercise studio. And I wanted to show you that it's a really inspirational studio. Bar classes, Pilates classes, HIIT classes, high intensity interval training classes.
Right.
And they designed it with a chalkboard that's all along the ceiling. And they had a girl who's just got really cool handwriting, and it's not all the same. Like she does different calligraphy, she does block letters, she does real crazy accents. So she wrote with chalk all over the room of the studio. So every time, we're doing a move and they'll say, "Okay, hold it for 10." And you go, "Oh, I got to look at something. I got to concentrate on something because I can't hold this move for 10 more seconds." So I'm always looking for something to see that's kind of inspiring. And this happened to be what I was looking at today throughout my class. And I said, I have got to take a picture.
Oh, how about that?
Can you see that, Nick?
Yeah. Wow.
Pretty cool. That was what I was looking at during my class today. I said, oh my gosh, this is a sign. I'm having Nick on our show today. He is going to love that. But it's just really beautiful. And then there's another thing that I look at when I turn around, because we always have to do the other side. You know, we can't be lopsided. We have to do one leg and then we've got to turn around and do the other. And I also love this saying, and I thought you would too.
Wow. Courage, dear heart. Yes, absolutely.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Absolutely. And you know what it's all about too, is if any of you are stuck and you're in a place where you feel like you can't move on and God hasn't helped you, you got to start realizing that your day will come. And what you need to do is get comfortable with being uncomfortable.
Yeah, that's well said.
Because then if you're in a place where everything is just quiet and peaceful like that, that means you're not living. You've got to live. You just got to get out there and do things and make a difference. You know, even if it's like you said, you have a wonderful neighbor, go over there, bring them some cookies or just say hello to them or something. Just put yourself out there and show human touch and human beauty in the heart.
Which is more important now than ever.
Ever, right, Paul?
Yeah.
Yeah, it really is. I think it's never been more important, especially with what everybody's been going through for the last year. It's interesting. I was talking to my parents this morning. I kind of make a habit now of calling them when I'm driving home from my exercise class. I call it my Pilates church. And my dad was like, are you coming home from Pilates church? And I said, yeah. Are you guys getting ready to go to church? And he said, yes. And they live in a retirement community. Well, they've been pretty much closed down,
right,
over the last year because of their ages, and they wanted to make sure everybody who was living there got the vaccine. And of course, in that age group, in their 80s, they were a priority when it was available to more people and starting to be delivered to the different states. So when I talked to them today, they said, oh, we just opened up. And I said, so tell me what that means. They said, well, now we can go to the restaurants freely. We don't even have to wear a mask in the community because now all the people who work there in the cafeteria area or the theater, anything behind the scenes, they still need to wear a mask, but all the people who are living there, and you could just hear the joy in their voices. Yeah.
You know what? It just, you come alive. Like after I got my shot, you know what? I was like thinking, wow, we've been programmed with all of this COVID information, and it can wear on you, and also just being locked up in your home and stuff like that. So, whoa, that's what I'm saying. Get comfortable with being uncomfortable and put a step forward every single day, and you will see the difference in your life. And just remember, love and approve of yourself. Everybody, you got to love yourself, your heart, your soul. And God.
Yeah, that's right. You're right. And I think that kind of appreciation is in and of itself aspiring. And when you are appreciative like that, you walk around with your shoulders back and a smile on your face. And
that is true.
You never know who you're going to affect and what you've brought them that day that they really needed, just because you said, have a great day.
Exactly. And I'll tell you something, the universe will bring it back to you in such a great way. Like every morning before I get up, I put on Joel Osteen. I listen to him for about half an hour.
I have those videos, audio tapes. Yeah.
Right. And it's just, I do it on my phone just before I get up because I want to start my day with gratitude. I really want to feel good because you know what can happen in the morning. You can have some stinking thinking. Now when I, that old story, if you see something there, some poop there, walk around it because people have some thinking when you walk away. So it's really is one of those things. And I just love even what you're saying about exercising, that you and Paul exercise together. I think that is so great. Even if it is get out there and walk, everybody, do something. If you get in that funk, and it's easy to get into a funk, get out there and make a difference, because you all are beautiful in your own special way. Don't compare yourself to anybody, because God only knows there's always somebody billion times a billionaire than we all are, or more beautiful than you think you could ever be. And so just know that you're good. You love and approve of yourself. I keep saying that over and over again. I repeat that because that was something that I had to learn. I love and approve of myself. Otherwise, you're running around like a clown trying to get people to approve of you.
Right.
Yes.
And you know what? Now I don't have to. I don't have anything to prove to anybody. And I have been stripped of a lot of stuff in my life and almost lost my life. Now I'm good.
Yeah.
It's all good. Even sometimes, we get nasty replies on Facebook or something like that. And you know what I say? I'm gonna pray for them.
Oh, yeah.
I just got to pray for them, before I would want to go, oh, that's not nice.
Yeah.
Like, you know what? That's who they are. And if somebody is one of those that, like, I guess they call them trolls or something like that.
Yes,
The deal is go at it. Go at it. Because you know what I do? I do this. It comes in and it goes right out. Just do this. And they're going, what does that mean? Boom. Boomerang.
Remember we were kids? I'm rubber, you're glue.
Oh, yeah.
We say bounce off me, sticks on you.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's a good one, Paul. I love that one. That is so good.
I think we just thought of another segment for the show.
Think about it. Because we have to acknowledge all the stuff in life, what's happening, and it's really great because you know what, we don't really know. There's so many people out there who are watching us and being a part of your life and my life. And it's so great if we can inspire or make them feel good or make them feel something, because it's all about a feeling. It's all about feeling good when you're feeling bad. And, there's a lot of loneliness out there. A lot of people are by themselves. I feel you. I hear you. I know what you're going through. And a lot of times people will say, oh, you don't know what it's like. I go, yes, I do. Yes, I do. Just because I come off with this smiley face and I have all this wonderful things that have gone great for me in my life, we still go through it. I mean, we're just like everybody else. We bleed, we cry, and we hurt just like everybody.
No, we all go through it. The difference is how do you react to it?
That is the key. It really is the key. And it's like, I would just love to speak on that all day long, how important it is to love oneself.
Yeah.
And you have a different attitude towards other people. You accept them. Even if they're on the wrong side of the track, you just pray for them. And you know what? You can be in the moment and listen to them, because mostly that's all anybody wants to be is
heard.
Want is to be heard.
Yep, exactly.
To be in the moment and to be heard.
And Paul talks about that all the time too, that the most important thing to understand in your life, if nothing else, is self-love. And it's so easy to turn against yourself and say, what's wrong with me? And why does everybody else have it better than I do? And that's not necessarily the case.
No, because you know what? We all go through it. We're human. We're just the way it is. And you know what? We just have that gift that God has given us to just move forward, to love and approve of ourselves. We're enough. And if you can keep going down that road like that, it's amazing how the doors will open up for you. Because look where we were. I've been at QVC almost like 30 years, and I've known you. How many years is this now?
Gosh, it's almost 30, because I was there for 15, and I think I've been gone now for 15. So
well, there you go. And I mean, it's really like great. And when we spoke with each other, it was like I just spoke yesterday.
Yeah, I know.
Not right up. Time. I always believe when that happens, that's because you're really truly connected.
Yeah,
you have a connection.
Yeah,
there's this simpatico that's there, which I love.
Yes, that's what we always felt with each other. Even when I was sitting in your makeup chair or in your hair chair, and we would chat and talk, and then we would say, you know what, we need to go grab a bite to eat. Like, I don't want to be done with this yet. So then you and I would go grab a bite for dinner, after a show.
Right. And that's what it's about. Really, really, truly is like anybody out there. Like I just said, put yourself out there. If you see somebody out there that is by themselves, go to them and be there for them.
Yep. And sometimes that's hard to do. But you know what?
It is.
Remember, courage, dear heart, from C.S. Lewis. And that's why I stare at that sign. And that's why I chose the place in the bar class where I stand. Because every day.
You know what? That's why you're where you kids are. That's why your life is where it is because you do have courage. You do have belief. You are consistent. And, walking and exercising is one of the greatest things. You don't have to have a powerlifting body. I had that body before, and I worked out like crazy, but I got down to 119 pounds.
Wow.
When I had the cancer, and I was 210. And, I know what it's like to respect this body, but I still, with my little walker or my cane, I would walk around my kitchen and my living room just to get a little bit of exercise. Even when I was so sick and throwing up, I would just, even if I walked 10 steps, I go, you got to do it, Nick. You have to have faith. You got to get up. You got to make a difference. And there were times when I couldn't even lift my head.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah.
And you know this. It's one of those things you don't have control of, but you can just sit and have that feeling that it's an ouch and it really hurts.
Oh yeah, that's very true. And you also realize that nobody can do it for you. And that's why you had those thoughts in your head. And that's why those tapes that you listen to in the morning help you, because somebody can't put that foot in front of the other for you. It has to be here and it has to be here. And then you make everything else work.
Exactly. And, it's not just like, I have the Lord with me. I also listen to Wakanagi, this Lakota Indian chief, and he spreads word of love. And it's so great to be alive today. And also Louise Hayes, Williamson, and there's Dr. Pedenza. There's all these things. And I listen to them at night so that it goes in my subconscious so I can feel really, really good about that next day.
Yeah.
So let all your fears go, everybody. Just know that you're loved and don't hang on to stinking thinking. Program your mind, you're going to be stinking. Like a little skunk.
we missed this with you, even though you were on camera and I didn't realize you were. So yeah, they did actually. So cheers to us again, Nick, so that we can cheers to you with your coffee this morning.
With my coffee this morning. I would love a beer. It's too early.
Yeah, I know. So we set Nick's alarm extra early this morning because he's out on the West Coast and we're on the East Coast.
And we do appreciate it.
Yeah, we really
appreciate you guys. I would just love to just stay on and just really get into a lot of stuff, because there is a lot of stuff to be learned and to be heard from both of us.
Yes, I agree. And there are a lot of people who've actually written in and say, you need to have a podcast. You're very inspiring.
Well,
It's been a great show.
It doesn't mean we can't do this again.
No, that's right.
Well, you know what it is that's really great, and I admire about you two, you listen.
We try.
It's innate. It is who you are. You guys are amazing because you listen. Like, I watched a lot of your stuff and I looked everything about, and my cousin and I were going, look at them. They really, really need to be out in mainstream and have a show, because you exuberate so much love, so much compassion for people. And it's really important. And even with what everybody's doing, because not everything is glitz and glamour. Not every place you walk is your red carpet. I mean, you talk about everything. And I think that's what's really important. And one of the great things is you have such a great audience. And all these viewers out there who are watching. I mean, I love the fact that you read every one of what they've written. That is so important, because I think one of the hardest things is to write something. And I say hard things because you want to be heard. And both of you, Paul and Judy, read everybody's comment.
Yeah,
and I love that. And that's all. You know what that is about you two? You're authentic.
Well, thank you.
You are truly authentic.
Yeah,
and a couple that plays together stays together.
And I'm gonna write some of this stuff down.
It's true.
Yes, we're going to hire you as our publicist.
Oh, I would love it. I've always just said that to myself. I think I'm going to wear a different hat, call magazines, and talk about Nick Chavez. And just oh, you should meet this guy. He's really
we'll be yours and you be ours, and then
There we go.
It works that way. Isn't it weird how it all goes in a circle? Everything goes in a circle. You go, here we go again.
I know.
And we definitely owe another visit to California for you. And you need to come to
next
Florida.
time you guys come, you definitely have to give me a call, and we will have dinner and chat away. And I just thank you guys, because I'll tell you something. One thing that was really fun the other day is when Judy and I were talking, is she was bringing up a lot of what your customers and fans was saying about the show and this and that. So you are a topic. You are involved in this. I want you all to know. Judy and Paul, now I'm part of this family.
The family.
Oh,
look at what you have written, and that gives us joy. And you know what? You become our teacher. All of you out there who are commenting, you are our teacher, and that is a true blessing.
So true.
It is. And Nick is going to be able to share the show on his page. So he'll have a chance with all of your followers to get these same messages across that we think are so important and so well said. Yeah.
And you could just look me up on Nick Chavez BH. That's my Instagram. And that is my Facebook.
Okay.
Oh, good.
And don't get mad if I can't put you on because I think I'm over the limit. Isn't it 5,000? Then you have to open up another one. So
Yes.
just know I read everything too. I'm one of those. I put a little heart or a little, love you or whatever after every comment because I really do appreciate it. I think if anybody has the time to or the consideration to write something to us, we need to respond to them.
Yeah, it's so true.
Gratitude.
Me too. Yes, absolutely. As you say, gratitude. I think it's almost the message of our show today.
Yes, you know what it is? It's like smack you on the head, give you some divine light.
Yep. The week after Easter, a show of
Right?
gratitude.
Yeah.
Well, we couldn't be more grateful
Yeah,
to have you
fantastic.
here today than we are. It was so good. I knew I'd get emotional at the end.
No, it's true. This is like so great. It's so heartfelt, and it's like we know each other for so many years, but when you know you have a really true connection with people is when you can pick up with them. And it was just like you had spoken to them yesterday.
Yeah.
And that is such a great, great feeling.
Thank you to your cousin, the techno whiz who made you happen today.
Yes. And I'm so grateful to Julie. She's just so great. She does a lot of my social media, and I'm truly blessed to have
Is she there?
work in the company.
She's still there, right?
Yes, she's still there. She's
Make her come around the
constantly
corner,
putting a little
put her
finger.
little face
Look
on.
at the green little light. Put your, look at the green light.
Ask her to come around the corner. Just show her.
Come around the corner, Julie. They want to say hello to you.
We want to see her face because she and I were up late last night, sharing videos, sharing photos. There she is, Julie.
Hi guys.
Thank you for helping us.
Great show. You guys are amazing.
Oh.
And your viewers are incredible. So, but Nick is back.
Yes, he's
That may be the title of the book. Nick is back.
I like it.
Yeah.
And again, thank you all from the bottom of my heart. All the prayers that were said, for the people, the wonderful people out there who knew about what was going on. I just didn't want to bring everybody down this journey with me when I was going through it because I could hardly even say 5 words.
Yep.
And so now you're not going to be able to shut me up. I'm loving life. I'm so excited. I'm so empowered. I just feel amazing. And you know what? Have faith, everybody. If everything is going wrong, just know God's got a bigger plan for you. Just hang in there and pray. And just remember, you are enough.
That's well said. And we'll leave it on that note, Nick. Thank you guys so
You
much.
mean it's over?
It's all.
Can't you get another cocktail and Judy get a little bit of wine and I'm going to get me a beer and we're going to go again.
Next time.
Next time.
Next time. Guys, thank you
Okay,
so much.
love you all. Thank you so much.
Too.
God bless you. I appreciate you all. Really, Judy and Paul, thank you from the bottom of my heart. I don't do many of these things like this, but I am so grateful that you invited me on. I'm really on the bottom of my heart. Thank you so much. And any of you cancer survivors out there, Yahoo. That's what it's about. Love, 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 and gratitude.
Bye, baby.
Bye, sweetheart. Bye, Paul.
Again.
Take care. Bye-bye.
You too. Bye.
Bye.
Yay. How fun was that?
That was great.
Isn't he the best? Yeah. I can't, your comments were coming in so fast and furious. I couldn't keep up.
He's a shot of vitamins.
Right?
I just
Yeah. That and caffeine combined.
positive.
He's so
Positive message.
positive.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Amazing man.
Bless your heart, Nick. So much fun. So I have to switch gears here real quick because my man had something come out yesterday, and I want you to just talk about it real quick.
Yeah. I had a lot of people on the YouTube because I finally finished the garnets. I think it was like 6 weeks or 7 weeks. But now I'm going with your suggestions again, and people are asking about morganite. But I can't talk about morganite without talking about kunzite. And I explained that in the show. So this is just a little thumbnail that you would click on to watch the show, because they really are indelibly tied to one another.
So when you go on Paul's channel, then you'll see that is the thumbnail.
And then I do a little
Who will win?
I do a little silly contest between them in the end.
Okay.
Which is pretty fun.
That's great.
And how about you?
Well, the other fun thing that we did was, and it inspired me to remind you guys, do you remember, I'll just do it this way for just a quick second, okay? It's not very long, but I just wanted to see if you remember this. Too much fun. You remember that?
Yes, we just
Yes.
had it the other night.
Yes, bacon wrapped
That's
shrimp.
too much bacon, said no one ever.
So I thought that would be a good time to show you where you could find it in case you were thinking, I do remember that bacon wrapped shrimp. And that is on my YouTube channel. And if you go up to the video tab at the top, you'll be able to see that the fourth row down is the bacon wrapped shrimp. If you want to be inspired to maybe make it or make it again, all the instructions are there. And if you go to the playlist tab on that same page, then it's broken out and you can view the full playlist in the kitchen with Paul and Judy. And then ironically, it's the fourth one down on the playlist, bacon wrapped shrimp video. So it's really, really yummy. And we had it again the other night.
We still have leftovers to go through.
We do. We have the other, I think there were like 6 or 8 left, right? 8 left. So anyway, so that's kind of what's been going on. But other than that, we just wanted to really focus and make Nick the star for today.
Yeah. What a show.
Yeah, that was great. Before I start crying again.
Okay. Well, listen, happy Sunday Funday. Happy Brie Day for those of you that participate in our baked brie and red wine.
And that's another video that you can find on my YouTube channel under In the Kitchen with Paul and Judy. And I know we have to get back on the stick. Actually, there's a girl. Oh, that was probably Nick saying that was a great. It was. Oh, that's so cute. I can't read it. That we might do. Laura sent in a recipe for asparagus wrapped chicken.
Yeah, that's right.
And I want to go back to her messages. And no, I actually took snapshots on my phone.
Okay.
Yeah. So we might do that because that looked and sounded really good. So send those recipes in, send in those signs of all kinds, and we'll go back through.
We'll answer everybody.
And read the sizzle, right? I know you guys made it and you really loved it. So there it is. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. Love you guys. Blessings. He always says blessings at the end of every communication. So we will too. Blessings to you as well. Yeah. Have a great Sunday and we'll see you next week.
Okay.